and welcome to another exciting episode of HYPECAST, where we give you all the inside info on Stoke-on-Trent and all the latest development of what's happening here, and just trying to enlighten you as investors of why Stoke is still a really good place to invest, even though it doesn't rank anymore on many people's radar. Without any further ado, today we're going to look at Stoke-on-Trent and why it is a good place to invest. I'd like to introduce Henriette, my wife, who's also just going to chip in with a lot of interesting facts and comments that she's got for you guys. Please, as always, leave us a comment down below as to what you guys think about the information. If there's any questions, please let us have those and we'll answer them to the best of our abilities. Okay, so why invest in Stoke? Well, obviously, we're here. We've got Hype Invest for all those that are money rich but time poor. We've got our own designated sourcing agent in the office. And then obviously we've got our Hype building that will help you transform any house into any wonderful space that you want to transform it into. And then within that we also have Henriette and Joe here that will help us with the interior decorating. We also offer discovery days. There will be 2 a month starting the beginning of next month, which will be March. I haven't quite set a date yet, so watch the space on this one, and we will give you the dates for those and when those will be ready. So discovery days will be also part of it, just explaining exactly in a bit more detail, but those will be more here at our offices explaining what Stoke has got to offer. Right, so I think the very first thing to look at is the location of Stoke. So if you look on the map here, you'll see that where Stoke is located is absolutely perfect, because we've got all the major highways running either side of Stoke. You've got the M1, you've got the M6, but we're almost smack bang in the middle between Manchester and Birmingham, which makes us absolutely brilliant for transport, and by just judging by the amount of warehouses that's going up in Stoke-on-Trent, it is insane the amount of money that's being spent on warehouses and distribution. So just that alone has caused, I suppose it's a good problem to have, but also, one of the things that the authorities are neglecting at the moment is infrastructure, and just, maybe neglecting to spend a bit of time on making the roads a little bit better. But regardless of that, we've seen a massive spike in our serviced accommodation for lettings. Our single lets our phones are ringing every single day. It's non-stop, where people are looking for houses, and unfortunately we're in a position where all our single lets are rented out. We've got no stock for single lets. Anything you want to say on HMOs?
Yeah, so HMO is really doing well. Obviously, the high rent finish with en-suites really very desirable. Something we really desperately need is more good quality rooms near Keele University. Those are very much in demand. Anything that is really close to the hospital, walking distance really particularly as well, very much in high demand.
Or something that just sits on a major bus route, to get people in and to the university or the hospital within about 10-15 minutes. Right, now, Henry, anything you want to say about why Stoke is such a big powerhouse at the moment for investments?
I think if we just look at the government's levelling up fund, so they've got great plans. They've got a 10-year plan that they've set up. The starting phase was in Hanley, a multi-storey car park. So that's the first phase, and then the second phase they've got commercial and residential buildings that they've got planned, and then the final phase is an arena. That's in Hanley that they've got planned. Just
have a look here on this map here. This is a map here just showing the outline proposal of what the council is proposing to do with Hanley. Have a look at potential, so Hanley, sorry to interrupt, but Hanley will be great. So have a look on the map here. That just gives you an idea of what the council's proposing.
And already it is happening. They've got a brand new lovely Hilton hotel that they've built. Recently, lots and lots of new housing already has been, in the past year or two, when I say, it's come up. So the plans are for 20 million of that to be spent in Hanley, 20 million to be spent in Longton, Stoke and Tunstall, and then 16 million to turbocharge the goods yard site near the railway station. So it's good to see these things happening, and obviously that will attract people, because I think what they're looking for and aiming for is for Hanley City Centre, as well as to attract people, to have people actually living there again, because I mean those places have been really run down, and nothing much has happened there for a good 10 years, I suppose, and they're trying to redevelop all of that. And so it's exciting time, definitely.
Yeah, just on that, they refer that as the Tunstall Arrow scheme. So Tunstall is seeing a lot of money being pumped in. They are already in the second phase of a lot of the developments that's happening in there, and obviously when all these business developments take place, or commercial developments rather, you've got your housing developments that follow suit not long after that. So it is well worthwhile looking at Tunstall at the moment. Now, please, as always, what we say here is information that we get. We pass it on to you guys. It's not the be all and end all. It's just something for you to have to make a decisions on. So Henriette's talked about Tunstall. She's spoken about Hanley. The other big development that's going to come along is in Newcastle. So we are seeing that the new development scheme has been proposed on the old Keele golf course. So if you have Keele University just on this side of the road, the other side of the road is where the golf course is now, and where the new development is being proposed, and that is for a new Institute of Technology. So that is just going to increase the intake for students at Newcastle University. And as Henriette said, Keele University, and that's just going to increase the amount of students that's going to come into the area. So, and that is going to be attracting, well, it's already attracted a lot of attention from investors that we've spoken with just in the last week, who's looking to invest and wanting to know where to go. And by telling them about this investment scheme, which is worth £13 million, it already, they've made their mind up of where they want to put their money.
There is just always a demand for good rooms, and I think any room will fill if it's the right price, or if it's the right finish and furnishing, if the right spec. So it's just really to be knowledgeable about that, and we are here to advise and help. I think that is very important to take note.
And so, what we have seen lately is that obviously there's a lot of job losses. That's now that the furlough scheme has ended, businesses are unsure of what's happening. But on top of that, we have seen a massive increase in rental demand, which obviously has been pushing up the rental prices. So we are getting record prices here at Hype for our investors, especially on single lets. And I would like to think that we are pushing the envelope with that one a little bit, but that's purely just because there is a massive demand for single lets at the moment.
Definitely, there is a very big demand for that.
And so on top of that, also we've noticed that it is just absolutely insane how people are buying houses at the moment, which means that properties are selling for far above asking price at the moment. So it is absolutely a seller's market at the moment. The good deals are still out there. Joe, our sourcing agent here at Hype, still manages to find some really, really good deals for investors. So please go on his website at hypeinvest.co.uk if there's anything that you guys wanted to have a look in there. We are fielding near enough anywhere between 20 and 25 phone calls a week just on rental properties. People calling to find out whether we've got any properties, even though we don't advertise anywhere for any single lets at the moment. We still have those calls on a daily basis. On top of that, the HMO inquiries are equally as high. So Henriette, I don't know if you want to just quickly say about rental demand and rental prices on rooms at the moment in Stoke.
So at the moment, because obviously the competition is quite steep at the moment, so it really depends on whereabouts you are. But if you put a really good sized room out there, it should be able to fetch you good return. Obviously the small rooms that are a little bit drab, they struggle a bit. But I think if landlords are willing to spend, and it's not even necessarily spending a lot of money, it's just giving it a little facelift, nice lick of paint, be able to get to fetch some really good rental prices.
And then obviously the big thing at the moment, which is a big talking point for everybody, is the increase in utility bills. So everything is going up. We've seen increases up to £1,000 near enough on some of the HMOs that we manage, which is just insane. Yeah. And obviously investors can only carry some of these costs up to a certain point, and then rental prices have got to go up. Obviously I do predict that there's going to be some form of retaliation somewhere in the market from supplier to user to end user, somewhere in that chain, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, so that's it for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. There's just a snippet of what Stoke has got to offer. Any questions, please feel free to visit us on our website on www.hypelettings.co.uk, or please feel free to call in at 01782 930 077, and again, please leave us a comment down below for any questions that you might have. Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.